Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Has Luffy reached his final form, or is there another gear waiting to be unleashed? Join us as we explore the world of One Piece and the possibility of a Gear 6.
Ahoy, Nakama, I'm Jiro.
I'm Keiko.
Welcome
To
to
Mean
Mean
Minion.
Minion.
Here, we uncover the biggest mysteries of One Piece.
From theories to reveals, we've got you covered. It really seems like the whole fandom is going nuts with theories right now.
Oh yeah, some of them are pretty wild. People are talking about Luffy getting reality-bending powers.
Or, like, finding a way to counter Blackbeard's devil fruit negation. It's pretty crazy.
It's amazing. The fandom's imagination is just, well, it's incredible.
Oh, it makes sense when you think about it. I mean,
Mhm.
every time Luffy's unlocked a new gear, it's totally changed the game. He's able to fight tougher and tougher enemies.
Right.
But here's the thing. Some fans think Gear 5 is actually the peak.
Ah.
Yeah. And that any upgrades from here on out will be all about mastering Haki.
Oh, okay, hold on. Luffy's already mastered all the Haki forms, right?
Right.
And he awakened his devil fruit. He's basically like a living cartoon with Gear 5. I mean, does he even need another transformation on top of all that?
That's a good question. That's a real question, isn't it? And to figure that out, I think we need to look back at the story, see if Oda's dropped any hints about Gear 6 in the One Piece narrative itself.
Ooh, good point. Well, there's that one scene. It's kind of weird. Remember when Luffy's hair turned white
Oh, yeah.
after his fight with Magellan? Years ago. Way before Gear 5. But, like, the visual parallel is definitely there. Could that have been foreshadowing?
Oda is famous for hiding little details that end up being super important later on.
Right.
So it's totally possible that random event.
Yeah.
It could mean something bigger, yeah.
Yeah. Plus, there's the whole pattern of Luffy's power-ups being called gears. I mean, could that pattern just, like, continue?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But there's another theory out there. It's a little darker, though.
Oh.
What if Gear 6 isn't a good thing?
What do you mean?
What if it represents a burden on Luffy? A cost to his joyful fighting style?
Ooh.
Like, what if there's a serious downside to it?
Wow. Okay. Out of all these theories we've talked about, what stands out to you the most?
Honestly, I'm really fascinated by the idea that Gear 6 might not be a good thing. Like, it could create some, really tough choices for Luffy, or even force him to confront some of his inner demons. I think that would add a really interesting layer to his character.
Oh, absolutely. But to get a better grasp on how powerful Gear 6 could be, we got to look at where Luffy's at now. Like, how strong is he already, and how much stronger could he even get?
Yeah. He's come a long way since he first set sail. I mean, beating Kaido, that was huge.
Yeah.
Kaido was one of the strongest pirates ever. So that really cemented Luffy's place at the top, you know? And it's not even just about raw strength either. He can use his older gear attacks while he's in Gear 5, too.
Right.
Which makes him super versatile.
It's like he's unlocked all the One Piece cheat codes. But I've seen some fans saying his power-up in Wano happened way too fast, like, compared to the other arcs.
Right.
How can Oda even keep things balanced going forward? I mean, where do you even go from there?
That's something a lot of shonen anime struggle with. As the main character gets stronger and stronger, it gets harder and harder to find threats that actually feel believable. But Oda's been really smart about it. He's introduced all these new power systems, new villains, constantly raising the stakes.
Yeah, that's true. And get this, Oda himself has actually said that Luffy isn't even at his peak yet.
Really?
So even with all that crazy power he's got now, there's still room for him to grow even stronger.
Wow. That's really interesting. And you know what? It connects directly back to Haki, which Oda has been emphasizing a lot lately, especially in this final saga. It seems like maybe Haki is the real key for Luffy to become Pirate King, not just devil fruit powers.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and what about the whole sun god Nika connection to Gear 5?
Right.
What if Luffy hasn't even tapped into the full extent of those powers yet?
Oh, man.
Can you imagine him combining his awakened devil fruit with, like, advanced Haki techniques? The possibilities are just insane.
Oh, for sure. The sun god Nika thing opens up all sorts of possibilities. Like, he could enhance the skills he already has, or even gain totally new ones inspired by those old Nika legends. Who knows?
Okay, so we've got Luffy. He's this total powerhouse with tons of potential. But what about the threats out there? The big bads, the seriously strong opponents he might have to face?
Oh, yeah. There are some major threats lurking out there. And that's where the whole Gear 6 discussion gets really intense. Like, you've got Blackbeard, whose devil fruit negation power is basically a direct counter to everything Luffy can do.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Akainu, with his insane mastery of the magma fruit and his, unstoppable willpower.
He's a beast.
Oh, yeah. And let's not forget about Emu, shrouded in mystery, but their power is obviously immense.
Yeah. Each of those opponents brings something totally different to the table. Luffy can't just rely on brute force anymore. He's really got to think strategically and adapt his fighting style to survive against those guys.
Exactly. And, Blackbeard especially, he poses a huge challenge to Luffy, specifically because of that devil fruit reliance.
So Hataki becomes even more important against opponents like that. It's not just about devil fruit tricks anymore. It's about mastering the, fundamental forces of the One Piece world.
Right. Devil fruits grant unique powers, yeah. But Ataki is like this universal force that can even the playing field. Doesn't matter what kind of devil fruit you have. Luffy's mastery of Hataki is going to be essential if he wants to overcome these new challenges.
Okay, let's shift gears for a second.
Okay.
And talk about the narrative impact of a potential Gear 6. If Luffy does unlock this new power, how would it change the story?
Well, a new gear could be a major turning point, right?
Yeah.
Really set the stage for the final battles. And it would show us that Luffy's finally ready to take on anyone, Blackbeard, even the world government. Anyone.
It would be incredible. But wouldn't a Gear 6 also risk throwing off the balance of the story? I mean, isn't Luffy already super strong with Gear 5? Would another form make the fights less exciting?
Yeah, that's a valid point. If Luffy just gets another power boost right now, he might start to seem invincible. And that could make things way less suspenseful.
Exactly. It's tricky, right? We want to see these epic battles, these impossible odds, but we also want to see Luffy keep pushing himself, keep exceeding his limits.
Yeah. It's a tough balance to strike. You know what? Here's another interesting question. What if Gear 6 comes with some serious consequences?
Ooh.
Imagine it puts a massive strain on Luffy's body, or even his mind.
Oh, wow.
Adding that kind of risk, that sacrifice, to his quest for power, I think it would make his journey even more meaningful.
I like that. Power with a price. That could lead to some tough choices for Luffy, and maybe even force him to make some serious sacrifices. It would definitely add a whole new layer to his character.
Absolutely. For me, that's the most compelling possibility. The Gear 6, if it exists, isn't just a simple upgrade.
Right.
It's something that could introduce a lot of internal conflict for Luffy, forcing him to weigh the benefits of greater power against the potential costs.
That internal struggle would make his victories feel so much more earned. But we can't forget about the man behind it all. Oda. Has he given us any clues about Gear 6?
Well, he hasn't outright confirmed or denied it. But there are some interesting things to consider. Remember how much emphasis he's put on Hashi in the final saga?
Yeah.
That suggests Luffy's path to becoming Pirate King might rely more on mastering this internal power rather than relying on new transformations.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like Oda is pushing us toward, mastery and refinement, not just stacking up new power-ups one after another.
Exactly. And there's another clue, too. Remember when Oda talked about how important imagination is for Luffy's Gear 5 powers?
Oh, yeah. He said that Luffy can basically do anything he wants as long as he can imagine it.
Exactly. Which really makes it seem like a Gear 5 is incredibly versatile. It has tons of untapped potential.
So what does that mean for Gear 6? Is Gear 5 a limitless power? Is a new gear even necessary?
It's definitely a strong possibility. Maybe the true strength of Gear 5 is its adaptability. The fact that it's only limited by Luffy's imagination. Who knows what crazy stuff he'll be able to do as he starts to explore its full potential.
Oh, this is exciting. And before we move on, I have to share a fun fact that I know you'll love. Ready for this? Oda actually revealed that Gear 5's cartoonish style, he was inspired by Tom and Jerry.
You're kidding. That's amazing. I mean, it makes so much sense when you think about how Gear 5 works, all the over-the-top physics-bending stuff.
Right.
But it also just shows how creative Oda is.
Yeah.
He's drawing inspiration from these totally unexpected places.
It's true. Who would have thought that a classic cartoon duo would end up influencing the future of the Pirate King? Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here. Let's take a moment to, absorb all this info, and then when we come back, we'll put all the pieces together and tackle the big question. Is Gear 6 really in the cards for Luffy?
Hey, Nakama, enjoying the adventure so far?
If you have a topic or mystery you want us to uncover, let us know in the comments.
And while you're at it, give this video a like and subscribe to keep sailing with us.
Now, back to the adventure. Okay, so we've spent some time digging into those Gear 6 theories, and we've analyzed all the evidence. Now let's try to put it all together. The big question is, will Luffy actually unlock Gear 6?
All right, let's recap a bit. We talked about some fan theories, looked for hints in the story, broke down Luffy's power level. We even thought about potential opponents and factored in Oda's own statements. Taking all that into account, what do you think? What's your gut feeling? Is Gear 6 going to happen?
Hmm. Honestly, based on everything we've discussed, I'm leaning towards no.
Really?
Yeah, I think Luffy's path to becoming Pirate King will probably focus more on mastering what he already has, especially his hot Haki. It seems like he's already got so much power with Gear 5. Why introduce a whole new thing when there's still so much to explore with what he already has?
I see your point.
Yeah.
Luffy himself called Gear 5 the peak of his devil fruit power.
Right.
And Oda keeps talking about how important Haki is, especially in this final saga. It feels like Gear 5, combined with advanced Haki techniques, is already enough for some pretty mind-blowing stuff.
Totally. And Gear 5 isn't static either. We've barely scratched the surface of what it can do. Maybe instead of a new gear, we'll see Luffy just developing crazy new ways to use Gear 5. Combining it with his Haki, maybe even using more of those sun god Nika powers.
Oh yeah, that's what makes this so exciting. There's so much potential for growth within Gear 5 itself. It's not just a single power-up. It's like a whole new level of existence for Luffy.
Yeah.
And it's only limited by his imagination, which, let's be honest, is pretty much limitless.
It's true. It's like he's been given this amazing toolbox, and now we get to watch him figure out all the incredible things he can build with it. Gear 6 might sound cool, yeah. But I think mastering Gear 5 and all its possibilities is way more interesting for this story.
Yeah, I agree with you. It allows for way more creativity, and keeps the focus on Luffy's, internal growth and mastery, rather than just adding external power-ups. Plus, remember those tough opponents we talked about earlier? Blackbeard, Akainu, Emu. They're all huge challenges that Luffy can't beat with just brute force.
Yeah, those articles you sent over really highlighted just how dangerous those guys are. Blackbeard's devil fruit negation is such a big threat to Luffy, and we still barely know anything about Emu. Beating those guys is going to take more than just a new transformation. Luffy's going to need strategy, adaptability, and some serious high skills.
Exactly. It's not about devil fruit powers anymore. It's about mastering those fundamental forces in the One Piece world. And that's where I think we'll see Luffy really shine in this final saga. He's not just going to get stronger, he's going to get smarter, more skilled in using the power he already has.
It's like watching a martial arts master hone their skills. It's not just brute strength. It's about precision, control, understanding the deeper aspects of your art.
That's a great analogy. It's about Luffy refining his technique, pushing his limits, and becoming a true master of his powers. Oh, and don't forget about the wild card here, imagination. If Gear 5 really is only limited by what Luffy can dream up, then, well, we barely scratched the surface of what's possible.
That's what's so exciting. It opens up endless possibilities for Oda to surprise us. He could come up with all sorts of crazy new techniques, new ways to use Gear 5.
And that brings us back to what makes One Piece so great. It's not just about fights or powers. It's about the journey, the friendships, the adventures, that unwavering belief in your dreams.
It's the laughs, the tears, the epic moments, the sense of wonder, all those things Luffy brings to every challenge.
Exactly. Those are the elements that make One Piece such a timeless story.
Yeah. So even without Gear 6, we know Luffy's journey to becoming the Pirate King will be epic.
Oh, yeah.
There are still crazy challenges ahead, mysteries to unravel, new islands to explore, and Luffy's got the tools to face it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Oda's a master storyteller.
Huh.
He wouldn't introduce these super powerful enemies and impossible obstacles if he didn't already have a plan for how Luffy could beat them.
So are you saying we should just trust Oda?
Honestly, yeah. He's earned our trust. After decades of incredible storytelling, he's given us everything. Laughter, tears, amazing action, memorable characters. He wouldn't let us down.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm putting my faith in Oda to deliver an ending that's worthy of this crazy journey. But I still can't help but wonder, how will Luffy do it? How will he overcome Blackbeard's devil fruit negation? What about Emu's mysterious powers?
You know what? It's okay to have those questions. It's part of the fun of being a One Piece fan.
Yeah.
We get to theorize, debate, analyze every little detail.
Yeah.
And we get to share all that excitement with millions of other fans around the world.
It's like we're all on this big adventure together, trying to figure out the mysteries of the Grand Line right alongside Luffy and his crew.
Exactly. And that sense of community, that shared experience.
Yeah.
That's what makes One Piece so special. It's more than just a story. It's a phenomenon that connects people from all over the world.
Well said. I think you've captured what makes One Piece so captivating, so enduring. So as we wrap up this Gear 6 deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want to leave with our listeners?
Well, to sum it all up, After looking at all the theories, all the evidence, I think it's unlikely that Luffy will unlock Gear 6. Gear 5 already seems so powerful, so adaptable, and Oda keeps saying that Haki is the key to becoming the strongest. Luffy's journey to Pirate King is probably going to be about mastering the powers he has. Gear 5, Haki, all that. It's probably not about getting some new transformation.
So instead of Gear 6, it's more likely that we'll see Luffy pushing Gear 5 to the limit, right? Combining it with his Haki, maybe even using more of those Sun God Nika powers.
Exactly. The
Brilliant.
possibilities are endless. I mean, think about it. We've only seen a tiny bit of what Gear 5 can do. There's so much room for growth there, so much creativity. He can already use his old gear techniques with it. But who knows what else he'll come up with. New rubber powers, attacks infused with Haki. It's like he's been given this incredible tool, and we get to watch him become a master, shaping it into something amazing.
You know, what's really fascinating about this whole discussion, it's not just about how powerful these forms are, it's about what they mean in the story.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a new gear would look cool, but focusing on mastery, on refinement, that feels so much more important for Luffy as a character.
Oh, totally. It's about pushing past those initial limits, finding something deeper inside himself. Remember, being Pirate King isn't just about being the strongest. It's about growth, resilience, never giving up on your dreams. And that's what makes Luffy such a great character.
It's true. And don't forget all those amazing emotional moments Oda puts in the story.
Yes.
The friendships, the sacrifices, the pure joy of adventure. That's what makes One Piece so special.
I completely agree. It's a story that captures the spirit of adventure, the importance of friendship, the power of believing in yourself. And, those themes, they speak to people all over the world, which is why One Piece has become such a global phenomenon.
It really is amazing. So, even without Gear 6, we know Luffy's journey will be incredible. There are still huge opponents to face, mysteries to unravel, new islands to explore, and Luffy's got everything he needs.
Exactly. And, Oda is such a skilled storyteller. He wouldn't throw in these powerful bad guys, these impossible situations, without a plan for Luffy to overcome them. He's always thinking ahead, weaving together this amazing story with all these characters and plot lines. And it all comes together in such surprising ways.
So we should just trust Oda.
Pretty much, yeah. He's earned it. Decades of incredible storytelling. He's given us so much, he wouldn't let us down now.
Okay, I'm convinced. I'm putting my faith in Oda. He'll give us an ending that's worthy of this journey. But I still can't help but wonder, how will he do it? How will Luffy beat Blackbeard and his devil fruit negation? What about Emu's powers?
It's good to have those questions. It's all part of being a One Piece fan.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We get to come up with theories, debate, pick apart every detail. And we get to share our excitement with so many other fans. It's like this huge global community.
It really is. We're all on this big adventure together, trying to figure out the Grand Line alongside Luffy and his crew.
And that sense of community, that shared experience, it's what makes One Piece so special.
So true. I think you've really nailed what makes One Piece so great. As we finish up this Gear 6 deep dive, is there one thing you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is this. Luffy's journey isn't about power levels or transformations or any of that. It's about growing, being resilient, never giving up on your dreams, and using your imagination. So as you keep following Luffy on this incredible adventure, pay attention to how he uses his powers, how he beats challenges, how he inspires the people around him, and most importantly, never stop believing in your own dreams.
Wow. Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us, Nakama.
Have a theory? Share it in the comments.
Until next time, keep chasing your treasure.
See you soon.